Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Amanveer Singh. So I'm a principal solution architect from Telco IBU within AWS. So video gaming is one of the most prominent use cases for the mobile device. And for a gamer, quality of experience, of course, is very, very important. And when we talk about quality of experience, there are two different areas we are talking about. One is, of course, your network has to be very reliable. It has to be, low latency. And the second is your mobile device has to be very, very responsive. Now, telcos, of course, are investing a lot in network, but what we've seen is if there are a lot of network hops, in that case, for such high bandwidth applications, we start seeing a lot of latency. And also what we've seen is if in case anything wrong happens in the network, for our ops team, it takes a lot of time to actually diagnose the problem and fix that network issue. Now, we covered the network part. At the same time, the devices, what we have seen is that, if current device diagnostic solutions are very basic for telcos. When any issue happens, a customer calls a call center, and based on that, there are about 10 to 12 steps. We perform that, and problem might be resolved, or after that, if it doesn't get resolved, customer has to go to the store. Based on our study, what we've seen is this can actually lead to a drop of 19 NPS points to 36 NPS points. So it's a significant drop. And also, we are talking about a significant customer base here. Based on our study, 33% of the customers face a device-related issue at least once a year. So at least it's actually quite a significant number. Now, we are going to show you two demos today. One, we will talk about how to actually address the network challenges that we talked about. And the second is how to address the device-related issues that I just mentioned. And the outcome of those demos, you will see that the video game that I'm going to show you, it is deployed in Vodafone's AWS Wavelength Zone, which is our Mac offering in Spain. And that actually brings down the latency to 10 to 12 milliseconds. Now, latency is down, but at the same time, let's say if any pods or anything goes down in your core network, we are going to show you a solution along with our partner Mavenir and NVIDIA that actually will help diagnose the problem instead of weeks in minutes using the GenAI. And in the second demo, we are going to show you the device diagnostic or device care solution. And you will see just by using this device care solution, the rate to resolution is going to go up by 30%. And if you actually combine that with a GenAI from AWS, which is Bedrock, our rate to resolution, if we combine the device diagnostic application with AWS Bedrock, which is our GenAI solution, our rate to resolution actually goes up by 50 to 70%. We are not only talking about rate to resolution here. We are also talking about the opportunity for ARPU increase. And you will see how we are actually changing that whole experience from starting with a customer pain point and actually giving them better plans and better devices so that your ARPU can actually go up as well. Now, with that, we'll jump on to the demo. So here you can see that we are actually showing you a mobile game, and you can see how responsive it is, even though it's in the cloud, because it's on the wavelength zone. So it is actually 10 to 20 millisecond is the latency, which is super good for a mobile gamer. Now, while game is being played, let's say any pods go down in the network or anything wrong happens, we will talk about the Mavenir solution. So we're going to show you how actually code dump analysis can be done using GenAI. So currently, telco's ops team, they look at the code dump, and it takes long time, weeks to actually resolve or find the issue in the code dump. So here you will see that using Mavenir's service assurance platform on AWS, we are uploading the code dump file, and GenAI behind the scene is actually evaluating this code dump file against all the previous Jira tickets that have been raised in the system. And it found out that there was a ticket which was very similar to this, 98% confidence that it's a very, very similar, and the resolution is also same. And it also gives you an explanation in a very human readable way on how to solve this problem. Now, so far what we have done is we have looked at a point in time problem that there is a specific code dump and how to actually evaluate that code dump. Let's broaden it a little bit, and instead of looking at a specific code dump, let's see in general what are my major reasons which are causing this code dump, so that I can actually fix the root cause instead of looking at a point in time problem. So we are asking the chatbot here, which is again powered by GenAI, what are the top 3 reasons that the code dump is happening. And the Gen AI behind the scene, it looks at all the code dumps which have happened historically, and it gives me that there are 3 reasons. In this case, they happen to be null pointer exceptions, buffer overflow, and memory allocation errors. And now we want to know more. Okay, you know what? Let me tell me more about what are buffer overflows I'm having. And again, what we look at is details about what is really going on in all these 3 problems. And this journey can continue. It can even help you explain how to solve this issue. So what we are seeing is we started off with a very specific code dump analysis. We told how to solve it, and then we broadened that a little bit and went to where we can actually fix the root cause that code dumps don't happen going forward. So going back to the beginning of our demos, we talked about 2 different aspects of customer experience. One was, of course, network reliability, and we also talked about the responsiveness of a device. So in the second part of this demo, my colleague Robert from MCE is going to show how the device experience can be improved and how actually we can pivot the device experience from pain point into excellent customer experience and ARPU opportunities for telcos. Over to you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanveer, for your section. My name is Robert Hacker. I'm the CMO and Global President of MC Systems, and I'm excited to show you how, together with Amazon Web Services, we're going to revolutionize how we actually do device care for customers in the telco space. We have a gaming customer here, and his needs for a working device are super high. So this gaming customer has a touchscreen issue, and what he does, he looks for the My Operator app, and you can see he found there's a My Operator app. He looks for support, and he runs the basic device diagnostics. The basic device diagnostics, as Amanveer mentioned, they have covered all the things which you can rule-based really bring to action. And what we saw here, we found actually a battery issue. We even put the customer there to fix the battery issue. Now this is fixed, but the customer is still not happy because he has a touchscreen issue, and you need a working touchscreen for a good gaming experience. So before the customer drops off, actually an AI agent comes in and helps the customer. That is so important for telcos because they invest a lot of money in digital tools. And if customers drop off, they may not reuse the digital tools again. The AI agent is now injecting itself before the customer aborts a digital first process with the app. That's very important for the telcos because they have invested millions in those digital solutions if we want to make sure that the customer continues. So the AI agent powered by AWS already knows everything what happened before and asks the consumer now to run some automated tests. Those automated tests are run, and now the next part is cool. The consumer gets engaged with a gamified test. The gamification means consumer doesn't perceive the time to be so much. Here's the first was a gyroscope test. Here is a touchscreen test. And based on the touchscreen test, there's a last test which tests the activation and the reactiveness of the screen. And here it's kind of fun. You have to catch the little ducks and you just touch on the screen. So now the AI agent with the accumulative information knows there's a touchscreen issue and identifies it exactly. What we know from our research is that when you send something to repair and the AI agent says we can repair the issue, the NPS drops to more than 70s negative. So the agent is a smart agent and now combines the possibilities. It's better to trade in the phone. You're still getting all the promotions because the touchscreen issue is minor. So the AI agent asks, can I run some tests? We do some additional tests which build on all the insights which we had before. This is a mirror test where we evaluate the cosmetic status of the screen, and that concludes the trade-in evaluation, and the consumer gets a guaranteed price of $600. Now the chatbot is smart and said you want to actually upgrade, and depending on the level of integration with the telco, we will also know exactly what is a good device for the consumer. The telco can put a promotion, gives the consumer a top device, and now can actually confirm the upgrade. Moreover, since this new device is a 5G device, there's an upsell opportunity for the chatbot to say, hey, maybe you need a 5G unlimited plan, and convinces the consumer with benefits which are relevant to this gamer, like low latency and a better coverage, to actually upsell to a better rate plan. A last piece is actually quite interesting. This is implemented with on AWS Gen AI services, but it also has guardrails, so that chatbot, if you ask him different questions, would only answer questions pertaining to the device issue at hand, and so does not hallucinate as like some of the other Gen AI applications. Thank you very much, and we hope we can contribute to revolutionizing device care also for your telco.